Hello.
Hi, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Zach, and this is the 10th lesson, and welcome to class. Our topic for today is television for General English B1.
მოგესალმებით. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება ჩვენს ტელესკოლაში. დღევანდელი ჩვენი საგაკვეთილო თემაა ტელევიზია. თქვენ უყურებთ ზოგად ინგლისურს დონე B1.
So for the agenda today, like always, we'll start with the vocabulary and then move right along to reading comprehension, and then right in the middle, we have the grammar, and lastly, we have the summary and our favorite part, homework.
ვიდრე უშუალოდ გაკვეთილზე გადავიდოდეთ, მოდით ერთად გავეცნოთ დღევანდელი დღის გეგმას. დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილი დაიწყება ლექსიკის შესწავლით. ამის შემდეგ წავიკითხავთ ტექსტს, შემდეგ გადავალთ გრამატიკულ სავარჯიშოებზე, შემდეგ მოკლედ შევაჯამებთ დღევანდელ გაკვეთილს და დავასრულებთ ყველასათვის საყვარელი საშინაო დავალებით. Shall we start?
Let's start.
Zach, what do you like to watch on TV?
Oh, I love to watch The Simpsons.
Okay.
And other famous TV series. How about you?
Well, I like sitcoms. I like Friends and How I Met Your Mother. I binged watched all of them, I think.
Oh, wow, fantastic. So let's move on to our vocabulary section. And as you can see, these are the words we will be discussing.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის შესწავლაზე. თქვენს წინაშეა ის სიტყვები, რომლებსაც ერთად შევისწავლეთ დღევანდელ გაკვეთილზე.
So first, we have cartoon. And in English, a cartoon is usually an animated show or movie that is hand-drawn or with computer animation.
Cartoon is a noun, and in Georgian, it means animatsiouri ფილმი. Zach, do you have a favorite cartoon?
Oh, I do. It's The Simpsons.
As you mentioned before.
How about you?
Well, I like Ricky and Morty.
Oh, Ricky and Morty. That's very popular.
It is. Cartoon, animatsiouri ფილმი. Cartoon, animatsiouri ფილმი. Cartoon, animatsiouri ფილმი.
And next, we have comedy. And a comedy in English is usually a show that is very funny and there is a lot of humor.
Like Friends.
Like Friends and The Simpsons.
Yes. Comedy is a noun, and in Georgian, it means komedia. Comedy, komedia, comedy, komedia, comedy, komedia.
And next, we have documentary, and it is a show that shows real life or nature or people documenting their everyday lives.
Very true. Documentary is a noun, and in Georgian it means dokumenturi ფილმი. Documentary, dokumenturi ფილმი. Documentary, dokumenturi ფილმი. Documentary, dokumenturi ფილმი.
And next we have drama, and drama in English is a more serious show about people and their lives with an end result.
True. Drama in Georgian means drama. Drama, drama, drama. Drama, drama, drama.
And next we have reality show, and in English it is when like a game show or when people are being filmed in real life.
Okay. Reality show in Georgian means reality show. Reality show, reality show, reality show, reality show, reality show, reality show.
And next we have horror. In English, it is a very scary show about monsters or aliens or something like that.
Yeah, you are a fan of horrors, as I know, right?
I love horrors.
Horror in Georgian is a noun, and in Georgian it means საშინელებათა ფილმი. Horror, საშინელებათა ფილმი. Horror, საშინელებათა ფილმი. Horror, საშინელებათა ფილმი.
And next we have sci-fi or science fiction, and that is in English about like the future and spaceships like Star Wars or something like that.
Sci-fi or science fiction in Georgian means სამეცნიერო ფანტასტიკა. Sci-fi or science fiction, სამეცნიერო ფანტასტიკა. Sci-fi or science fiction, სამეცნიერო ფანტასტიკა. Sci-fi or science fiction, სამეცნიერო ფანტასტიკა.
And next we have soap opera, and in English it is about a very emotional and serious group of people.
Soap opera in Georgian means sapnis opera an seriali. Soap opera, sapnis opera an seriali. Soap opera, sapnis opera an seriali. Soap opera, sapnis opera an seriali.
Now let's move on to our vocabulary activity and match the correct words with the right definition.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის სავარჯიშოზე. ამ სავარჯიშოსთვის ჩვენ ერთად უნდა შევუსაბამოთ მოცემული სიტყვები მოცემულ განმარტებებს. Let's start.
Let's start. So the first one, books and films about imaginary future events and characters, often dealing with space travel and life on other planets. Which genre could that be?
That is my favorite genre. I think it should be sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. It's sci-fi.
And another one, a television or radio series about the imaginary lives of a group of people. Zach, what do you think? Which one is the best word for this description?
Oh, I think it's soap opera.
And you are absolutely right. Well done.
And next, a film or television program, especially for children, that is made by photographing a series of drawings so that people and things in them seem to move. Do you know which one that could be?
I think you mentioned Simpsons and I mentioned Rick and Morty, so it should be cartoon.
Oh, exactly, cartoons.
And the next one, books and the films that are intended to frighten people. Your favorite genre.
It definitely is, and it's horror.
Very good, well done.
And next, any situation or series of events having vivid, emotional, conflicting, or serious interest or results.
Well, I think that should be drama.
I think that's definitely drama.
And our next definition is a program on TV that does not use professional actors but shows real events and situations involving ordinary people. I think the definition itself should give you a little hint, right?
Yeah, it should be reality TV show.
Very good. Reality TV show is the right answer.
And next, a funny film, play, or television program.
I think that's comedy.
That's comedy for sure.
And the last one, and a quite obvious one, but we are still going to read the definition, a film or television program that deals with the real people and events. It is documentary.
Exactly, and I've seen many of these.
Me too.
So now we have our next set of vocabulary words that we are going to go over with you.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკის მეორე ნაწილზე.
So the first word is boring, and it is an adjective, and in English it means when something is just not interesting to you or you don't like it.
Very true. So we can say boring book or boring TV series or boring movie, right, Zach?
Exactly right.
Boring in Georgian means მოსაბეზრებელი. Boring, მოსაბეზრებელი. Boring, მოსაბეზრებელი. Boring, მოსაბეზრებელი.
And our next word is disappointing, and it is also an adjective. And in English, it means when you expected something happy or good to happen and it doesn't happen.
Disappointing in Georgian means გულდასაწყვეტი. Disappointing, გულდასაწყვეტი. Disappointing, გულდასაწყვეტი. Disappointing, გულდასაწყვეტი.
And our next word is moving, and it is an adjective. And in English, it means when it makes you feel some kind of emotion, like an emotional movie, and it makes you feel on the inside.
Moving in Georgian means ამაღელვებელი. Moving, ამაღელვებელი. Moving, ამაღელვებელი. Moving, ამაღელვებელი.
And next is predictable, and it's an adjective. And it means in English when you know something's going to happen or you could just see it happening.
Predictable in Georgian means პროგნოზირებადი. Predictable, პროგნოზირებადი. Predictable, პროგნოზირებადი. Predictable, პროგნოზირებადი.
And our next word is hilarious, and it is an adjective. And hilarious means just very, very funny.
Hilarious in Georgian means სასაცილო. Hilarious, სასაცილო. Hilarious, სასაცილო. Hilarious, სასაცილო.
And next is realistic, and it's also an adjective. And realistic means that, like, if a movie showed or played something that was normal for real life.
Well, we can say that realistic is very much related to reality show as well, right?
Oh, exactly.
Realistic in Georgian means realuri. Realistic, realuri, realistic, realuri, realistic, realuri.
And next, we have entertaining, and it's an adjective. And in English, it means that it's something that's very enjoyable, like a very entertaining TV show or a play.
Entertaining in Georgian means gasartobi. Entertaining, gasartobi, entertaining, gasartobi, entertaining, gasartobi.
And next, we have informative, and it's an adjective, and it means something that teaches you something or gives you new information, maybe like a documentary.
Informative in Georgian means informatsiis momtsemi. Informative, informatsiis momtsemi. Informative, informatsiis momtsemi. Informative, informatsiis momtsemi.
Now let's move on to the reading comprehension task. So Sophie, what is your favorite TV show?
Well, the TV show that I watched recently is Killing Eve, and I really liked it. It was very good. Or Fleabag as well was very nice.
Oh, very good. Oh, very cool. So now let's move on and let's discuss a couple of TV shows.
ახლა კი მოდით ერთად გადავიდეთ წაკითხულის გააზრებაზე. The show I've really enjoyed recently is a show called Stranger Things. It's a drama horror series. It's probably the only TV show that I've watched all seasons of, and it's kept me on the edge of my seat right to the very end. It's based on 80s America, which goes really well with the kind of dark undertones of the show. It's action-packed, funny, entertaining, and I'd really recommend it to anyone. The other show I tried to watch was a show called Suits. I was recommended it as a really funny, but I actually found it quite boring. All of the episodes were really repetitive. The jokes were not funny, the scripting was quite poor, and generally I just found it quite uninteresting.
I really enjoyed watching Planet Earth 2. I always used to watch documentary programs about nature when I was a kid, and I watched the entire series a few months ago in one go. It was so interesting, everyone should watch it. It was really heartwarming to watch animals and their lives when I lived such a busy city life. I did not like the show This Is Us. Everyone else I spoke to loved it, but I found it really boring. It was really slow moving. It was a bit of a shame to see it at all.
I've been watching a great series called Crown on Netflix. It's about the history of British royal family. It is interesting because it is very realistic and based on real events. Some people might say it is boring, but I think it's very entertaining and informative at the same time. Some episodes were predictable because everyone knows the history of the characters. However, it was still quite moving to see real events on TV. A TV show I hated was Scrubs. Where to begin? It's just an awful TV show. It's so boring and unrealistic with this kind of misinterpretation of this work. It was supposed to be funny, but in reality it was disappointing.
So now let's move on to our reading comprehension task. And are the sentences true or false?
ახლა კი მოდით ერთად გადავიდეთ წაკითხულის გააზრების სავარჯიშოზე. თქვენს წინაშე მოცემულია წინადადებები. ჩვენ ერთად უნდა გადავწყვეტოთ მოცემული წინადადებები ჭეშმარიტია თუ არა.
So, Sophie, the first one. Samantha liked watching Suits because it was entertaining. Do you remember if that was true or false?
I think it was false because as we read, one show I tried to watch was a show called Suits. I was told it was really funny, but actually I found it quite boring. I remember you reading, so this sentence should be false.
Fantastic, you're right.
And the next one, Frank could not watch Planet Earth because he lives a busy city life. Zach, what do you remember? Is this sentence true or false?
Oh, that should be definitely false because it was really heartwarming to watch the animals in their daily lives when I have such a busy city life.
Yes, very true. That was the text.
And Sophie, watching The Crown was moving because it was based on real facts.
I remember I read this text, and this sentence is quite true. As it was mentioned, some episodes were predictable because everyone knows the history of the characters. However, it was still quite moving to see real events on TV. Therefore, this sentence is true. And the next one, Zach. Megan did not like Scrubs because it was unrealistic. What do you think? Is this sentence true or false?
Oh, I think it's definitely true. Scrubs definitely is unrealistic and is just an awful TV show. It's so boring and so unrealistic with this kind of misinterpretation of this work.
You're absolutely right. The right answer is true.
So now let's move on to the grammar section where we will discuss comparisons.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის ნაწილზე, სადაც ჩვენ განვიხილავთ შედარებით ზეცართავ სახელებს.
For comparisons, adjectives have got two forms, the comparative and the superlative. We use the plus superlative form of in to compare one person or thing with one or more person or thing in the same group. For example, Stranger Things was the most interesting TV show.
ზეცართავ სახელებს აქვთ შედარებითი და აღმატებითი ფორმები. ჩვენ გამოვიყენებთ article this დამატებული აღმატებითი ფორმა, დამატებული of ან in, როდესაც ვადარებთ ერთ ადამიანს ან საგანს, ერთზე მეტ ადამიანთან ან საგანთან.
And the comparative of one syllable and two syllable adjectives is formed by adding er and the superlative by adding est. The comparative of adjectives of three or more syllables is formed with one or with more and the superlative with the most. For example, action movies are more interesting than drama movies.
ერთ ან ორ მარცვლიან ზეცართავ სახელებს შედარებით ფორმებს ვაწარმოებთ er დაბოლოების დახმარებით, ხოლო აღმატებით ფორმებს კი ვაწარმოებთ article this დამატებული es დაბოლოების მეშვეობით. სამ ან მეტმარცვლიან ზეცართავ სახელებს კი ვაწარმოებთ more და the most სიტყვების დახმარებით.
And the comparative and the superlative of some two-syllable adjectives such as clever, stupid, narrow, gentle, friendly, etc. are formed with er, the, est, or with more, the most. For example, friendly, more friendly, the most friendly, friendly, friendlier, the friendliest.
ზოგიერთი ორმარცვლიანი ზეცართავის სახელების შედარებითი და აღმატებითი ფორმები იწარმოება დაბოლოებების მეშვეობით er და the est, ასევე more და the most სიტყვების დახმარებით.
And adverbs which have the same form as the adjective usually take er in the comparative and the est in the superlative. Adverbs formed by adding ly to the adjective take more in the comparative and the most in the superlative form. So for example, smartly, more smartly, the most smartly.
ისეთის მიზეზები, რომელთა ფორმებიც ემთხვევა ზეცართავ სახელებს, შედარებით და აღმარტებით ხარისხებში იწარმოებიან დაბოლოება er-ისა და article this-ა და est დაბოლოების მეშვეობით. ისეთის მიზეზები, რომლებიც ბოლოვდება ly-ით, საჭიროებენ more და the most სიტყვების დახმარებას.
And we use as plus adjective plus as to show the two people or things are similar in some way. In negative sentences, we use not as, so, as. For example, sci-fis are not so as interesting as documentaries.
ჩვენ გამოვიყენებთ კონსტრუქციას ეს დამატებული ზეცართავი სახელი დამატებული ეს, როდესაც ვადარებთ ორ ადამიანს ან ორ საგანს. უარყოფით წინადადებაში ვიყენებთ not as ან not so as კონსტრუქციას.
We use less plus adjective plus than for two people or things. It is the opposite of more than. For example, TV shows are less interesting than movies.
კონსტრუქცია less დამატებული ზეცართავი სახელი დამატებული than გამოიყენება, როდესაც ვადარებთ ორ ადამიანს ან საგანს. less წარმოადგენს more-ის ანტონიმს.
We use the least plus adjective plus of in for more than two people or things. It is the opposite of the most, of in. For example, the movie we watched yesterday was the least interesting of all the movies we watched so far.
ჩვენ გამოვიყენებთ კონსტრუქციას the least დამატებული ზეცართავის სახელი, დამატებული of an in, როდესაც ვადარებთ ორზე მეტ ადამიანს ან საგანს. The most of an in არის the least-ის ანტონიმი.
We use comparative plus and plus comparative to show that something increases or decreases. For example, he tried harder and harder until he fixed the television.
კონსტრუქცია შედარებითი ზეცართავის სახელი, დამატებული and, დამატებული შედარებითი ზეცართავის სახელი გამოიყენება, როცა გვინდა შევაჩვენოთ, რომ რაიმე გაიზარდა ან შემცირდა.
We use the comparative, the plus comparative to show that two things change together or that one thing depends on another thing. For example, the longer they watched the movie, the more confused they became.
კონსტრუქცია შედარებითი ზეცართავის სახელი, დამატებული არტიკლი the, დამატებული შედარებითი ზეცართავის სახელი გამოიყენება, როდესაც გვინდა ვაჩვენოთ, რომ ორი საგანი შეიცვალა, ან როდესაც ერთი საგანი დამოკიდებულია მეორე საგანზე.
Now let's go on to our grammar exercises and complete the sentences.
ახლა კი მოდით გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის სავარჯიშოზე. ამ სავარჯიშოში ჩვენ ერთად უნდა ჩავსვათ მოცემული ზეცართავის სახელი სწორ ფორმაში.
So Sophie, as I ran, my legs got blank, and we have the given adjective. What do we do to make this sentence complete?
Well, I think that in this case, we need to use more and more, and I think that the sentence would sound like this. As I ran, my legs got more and more tired.
Yeah, fantastic job. And next, Emma's grades are improving because she is studying blank, and our given adjective is hard.
Well, I think that in this case, we need a comparative form of the word hard. And the sentence would sound like this. Emma's grades are improving because she's studying harder and harder.
Yeah, great job again.
And the new one, new, the car is valuable. It is. So we have two adjectives, new and valuable, and we need to put them in a correct form.
So the sentence should be, newer the car is, the more valuable it is.
And our next sentence is, Mrs. Smith is old, teacher of all. So we have adjective old here, and we need to decide we need the comparative or the superlative form.
Okay, so the sentence should be, Mrs. Smith is the oldest teacher of all.
The oldest is the correct answer. Well done, Zach.
Oh, thank you. So now let's move on to our summary section.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გაკვეთილის შეჯამებაზე.
So today we had two sets of vocabulary that we learned. And also, we had some text that we read for you about our favorite TV shows and some of the most hated TV shows from us. And also, we discussed grammar and talked about comparisons.
დღეს ჩვენ შევისწავლეთ ახალი სიტყვები, ასევე წავიკითხეთ ტექსტი სხვადასხვა სატელევიზიო გადაცემების შესახებ და ვისაუბრეთ გრამატიკაზე, სადაც განვიხილეთ შედარებითი ზეცართავის სახელები. დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილის თემა იყო ტელევიზია.
And now let's move to our very last section and discuss homework.
ახლა კი დროა გადავიდეთ საშინაო დავალებაზე.
So for your homework, write a short paragraph about your favorite TV show.
საშინაო დავალებად გთხოვთ დაწერეთ პარაგრაფი თქვენი საყვარელი შოუს შესახებ.
So please send your homework to the address on the screen.
გთხოვთ გამოგვიგზავნეთ თქვენი დავალება ეკრანზე მითითებულ მისამართზე.
And I think we're out of time now. I think
Yes,
we must say goodbye.
But there is one thing that we need to tell them, that there is a sample on the address, and they can use this sample as a template for their homework, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
And now I think it's time to say goodbye.
Let's do it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Thank you.